Imagine waking up each morning to the endless blue horizon. The sky and sea blending seamlessly with not a speck of land in sight. For 30 days, your world is reduced to the gentle rocking of the waves, the searing sun overhead, and the ever-present sound of wind and water. There is no shoreline, no trees, no buildings, nothing but water in all directions. Living in the middle of the ocean for a month is a true test of human endurance, both physically and mentally. It is an experience that strips life down to its bare essentials, forcing you to confront the elements, your own limitations, and the profound isolation that comes with such an ordeal. This scenario, while almost unthinkable for many, has become a harsh reality for some. In August 2023, 101 men and boys from Senegal set out on a wooden boat, hoping to reach the Canary Islands and, ultimately, Europe. Their journey was meant to last just a week. But when their engine failed and storms battered their vessel, the voyage stretched to an agonizing 36 days adrift on the open Atlantic. Cut off from the world, these individuals faced the ultimate survival challenge, one that would test every ounce of their willpower, ingenuity, and hope. Survival in the open ocean depends on three main pillars: access to fresh water, food, and the ability to signal for rescue. Without these, the human body and mind quickly begin to deteriorate. Dehydration sets in within days. Hunger gnaws relentlessly, and the vast emptiness breeds a sense of isolation that can quickly spiral into despair. The first and most immediate threat is thirst. The human body can survive for weeks without food, but only a few days without water. Surrounded by undrinkable salt water, every drop of fresh water becomes precious. Those stranded at sea must ration whatever supplies they have, collecting rainwater when possible and using makeshift methods to minimize loss. In the Senegalese boat's ordeal, survivors described the torment of extreme thirst, cracked lips, swollen tongues, and hallucinations brought on by dehydration. Some resorted to desperate measures, like drinking seawater, which only accelerates dehydration and can lead to fatal salt poisoning. Food is the next hurdle. Ocean survivors often have to get creative to fill their bellies. Fishing with improvised hooks and lines, scavenging seaweed, and catching seabirds become acts of necessity. On the Senegalese vessel, supplies quickly ran out. Hunger sharpened to a painful edge, leaving the men weak, disoriented, and vulnerable to illness. In such conditions, the body starts to consume its own reserves. Fat, then muscle, and finally the organs themselves. Malnutrition weakens the immune system, making survivors susceptible to infections and diseases. Shelter from the elements is another pressing concern. The open ocean is an unforgiving environment. By day, the sun beats down mercilessly, causing severe sunburn, heat stroke, and dehydration. At night, the temperature can plunge, bringing chills and hypothermia. Salt water is abrasive, chafing exposed skin and causing painful sores. Storms can appear without warning, tossing small boats like toys and drenching everything in icy spray. Survivors must find ways to protect themselves, fashioning makeshift shade from scraps of cloth, huddling together for warmth, and securing themselves to prevent being swept overboard. Yet, perhaps the greatest challenge is psychological. To spend 30 days surrounded by nothing but waves and sky is to confront an overwhelming sense of isolation. The mind plays tricks in such circumstances. Hallucinations are common, as dehydration and exhaustion take their toll. Survivors have reported seeing land that doesn't exist, hearing voices, or even believing rescue is imminent when it is not. Time loses its meaning. Days blur together, broken only by the rising and setting sun. The Senegalese survivors spoke of moments when hope flickered and died, only to be rekindled by the faint glimmer of a distant ship or the sound of a passing plane. Desperation can drive people to extreme actions. Some of the men on the Senegalese boat, overwhelmed by thirst and hunger, leaped into the ocean in futile attempts to swim to safety. Others clung to the belief that help would come, rationing their remaining strength to wave at passing vessels or to keep the boat afloat. The psychological toll is immense. Survivors often describe a profound sense of helplessness, broken only by fleeting moments of hope. The ordeal of these castaways is a stark reminder of the perilous nature of prolonged ocean exposure. It underscores how survival hinges on a combination of resourcefulness, resilience, and sheer luck. Even with the best preparation, the odds are daunting. Without access to fresh water, food, and the means to signal for help, the chances of surviving more than a few days diminish rapidly. Stories like this have prompted urgent calls for enhanced maritime safety measures. International organizations and humanitarian groups are advocating for improved monitoring of migratory routes, better equipped rescue operations, and increased support for those undertaking such perilous journeys. The goal is not only to prevent tragedies, but also to address the root causes that drive people to risk everything in search of a better life. For those living through it, every day in the open ocean is a battle. The smallest victories, a rainfall that fills a bucket, a passing ship that draws near, a fish caught with a makeshift spear, become lifelines. The camaraderie among survivors becomes a vital source of strength as they share stories, encourage one another, and cling to hope in the face of overwhelming odds. In the absence of rescue, survival strategies become increasingly desperate. Rationing water and food becomes an intricate calculation, balancing immediate needs against the uncertainty of when or if help will arrive. Makeshift fishing lines are fashioned from scraps of clothing or bits of rope. Rainwater is collected in cupped hands or improvised containers. Shade is created from torn sails, and every effort is made to keep spirits up, even as the days drag on. Signaling for help is a constant concern. Survivors use mirrors, brightly colored clothing, or anything reflective to catch the attention of passing ships or planes. Fires may be lit, if possible, to create smoke signals. The hope is that someone, somewhere, will see the signs and come to the rescue. The ordeal of the Senegalese castaways ended when a Spanish fishing vessel finally spotted their drifting boat. For those who survived, the rescue was both an end and a beginning. The end of their harrowing journey and the beginning of a new chapter, marked by both relief and the lingering trauma of what they had endured. Their story is not unique. Across the globe, countless individuals undertake dangerous sea crossings in search of safety, opportunity, or a better life. Many do not survive. Each journey is a testament to the human spirit, the drive to survive, to hope, and to endure, even in the faces of unimaginable adversity. Living in the middle of the ocean for 30 days with no land in sight forces a person to confront the raw realities of existence. It is an experience that strips away the distractions of modern life leaving only the essentials: water, food, shelter, and the will to go on. It is a crucible that tests the limits of endurance, resourcefulness, and hope. The ocean, vast and indifferent, offers no guarantees. Survival is a matter of preparation, luck, and resilience. For those who endure, the experience leaves an indelible mark, a deeper appreciation for the fragility of life, a renewed sense of gratitude, and the knowledge that even in the darkest moments, the human spirit can find a way to survive. In recent years, the increasing frequency of such incidents has brought new urgency to the call for safer migratory routes, more robust search and rescue operations, and greater international cooperation. The tragedy of the Senegalese migrants is a stark reminder of the risks faced by those who attempt these perilous journeys, and of the need for collective action to prevent future loss of life. For anyone imagining what it would be like to live in the middle of the ocean for 30 days, the reality is sobering. It is a world where every day is a struggle, where hope is both a lifeline and a torment, and where survival depends on a combination of preparation, ingenuity, and the sheer will to live. The stories of those who have endured such ordeals serve as a powerful reminder of both the dangers of the sea and the resilience of the human spirit. They challenge us to reflect on our own lives, to appreciate the safety and security we often take for granted, and to remember those who risk everything in search of a better future. In the end, living in the middle of the ocean for 30 days is not just a test of endurance. It is a testament to the enduring power of hope. It is a story of survival against the odds, of the human capacity to endure, and of the relentless search for a brighter horizon, even when none is in sight.